Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new Let's Play, Fire Emblem The Lonely Mirror. This is a ROM hack of Fire Emblem 8 by Caladrius. And it's pretty early on in development. Caladrius dropped this a couple of months ago, and I knew I wanted to check it out. Looked like there was quite a lot of effort into the production value. I mean, look, a custom title screen, guys. You don't see that every day. So, this is a 19-chapter hack right now. It's not done. Caladrius has been working by himself, or by themselves, on this. And so, I'm curious to see how this will go. And I am going to go with normal, because I don't think it's been adapted for hard mode yet. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing super clear here. I'm just going to check the thread real quick before I do this. Let's see. Okay, people have played normal. Yeah, I'm going to play normal because I assume that's what he's balanced it around. So I'm going to just do that. I probably should ask these things before I start, but I just like to record. So Prologue, Remembrances. Oh, cool. I forgot about this. Yeah, so this hack has some custom watercolor art that's used, and has a little bit more of a storybook type of approach. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So here we go. Deep in the meadows, a young prince will dream of the people he leads. Hundreds of flowers as the story is told. Kingdom, O kingdom of gold. Oh, cool. In the skies so far, a young girl will sing. To the reflection she sees, lonely, oh lonely, she longs that she be in the same world as he. Ooh, the romance. Ooh, look at this. Between their two worlds, the young prince will hear a song of salvation. Rising, O rising, a king will be born to deliver his nation. A vow of belonging, the young girl bestows totems of unity. Totems of unity, I like that. Bells of golden sand, a snow fractal harp, and the drums of the landside. Are those the sacred weapons? A flute of fertility, and a lakeside horn, to marry her world with his. A forgotten promise, a shattered reflection. Oh, that's cool. She enchants the music to make the deserted and the humans one. Furthering solitude, kingdom of gold, turns to black. Deep in the meadows, a young girl regrets, but looks on to hope. Champions arise, chosen from ashes, to deliver the will of the king. The lonely girl watches as the story is told. Kingdom, O kingdom of gold. That was pretty cool. Father, will you read it to me again? Ah yes, my dear, but you see, the sun is asleep, and it's time for the young girl to turn in for the night. I'm gonna drink some espresso while this is going on. Why now? Father, please be safe. We got some events too. Look at this. Princess Leia. I figured I would find you. I want to say Leia, but I feel like that's too Star Warsy, so I'm saying Leia. Figured I would find you here. This is your favorite spot in the castle, after all. Yes, Father used to read many books here. Tell me many stories of adventure. I understand, my lady. I simply wanted to make sure you were all right. Hearing that my home and Amatona are no longer safe is difficult news to process. The Celeste army has broken our front line and are 3 days from our doorstep. I've heard no word from my father, but this is the last place I wanted to be before we left. Please just leave me be for a moment, Catherine. Very well. I will go prepare your things. Alright, so Catherine bouncing. It's been some time. I should head back before I worry, Mother. Catherine, is that you? Oh, we got fighters. What? How? Oh, I like this guy. Looks like today's our lucky day, boys. General Watt will reward us handsomely when we deliver the princess. This can't be. Our advance was supposed to buy 3 days at minimum. Looks like your intelligence was wrong. Now be a good girl and come here if you know it's good for you. No. Why is it never easy? I will fight. Alright, boys, we have our target. Everyone, move out. I have to calm my nerves. What would Father say to me? Focus on your objective, Leah. I just secure the guard and escape the castle. Maybe I can use the trees to defend attacks. Alright, here we go. So we have a route map. Prologue. Alright, so we have Leah. Ooh, look at the stat screen. Look at that custom stat screen. That's pretty cool. I like how that looks. Alright, so no skill system, which is sometimes refreshing. The princess Amatona. She's pure with strong conviction. Just watch out, Caladrius. You have this extra space here. So you may want to go back and fix that. So to the viewers, I'll be going and giving some feedback like I do normally, since this is an actively in development project. And so I told Caladrius I would be doing this LP not just for entertainment, but to help playtest. Let's see. Her stats look pretty decent. She looks like a little bit more well-rounded Erica, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I played Vanilla FE8. And the art's custom. I know it can probably be improved and has a little bit of a different style than some things. Like, it looks a little like choppier at the edges, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. It's not distracting. And then who's to these enemies? We got Espen, hired mercenary fighting for Celeste. I like the intro, honestly. Like, it was a good way to do kind of like this more like overworld storybook intro, and then get into the story and like establish the character without too much. So I think like from a writing perspective, I think that was pretty well handled. It didn't really drag on too long. I'm gonna just do all this stuff, make it green. I didn't think it was too bad. How do you do over here? Oh, you one round these guys. You one round these dudes. So unfortunately, I'm not crazy about this map. Having to route 4 dudes with just one tiny girl kind of blows. I also wonder if the boss moves. So yeah, she gets 2 hits, so she has to just take the forest, I think. So this... Okay. You are surrounded. There's nowhere to run. Do you actually think you can win Princess Amatona? This is my domain, villain. Prepare yourself. I like the events there. Let's see. Look at this FE7 music too. I'm into it. Nice little crit to kick us off. Palette's a little janky, but I like the purple. Casual one rounding. I think it's really a question of them being locked in a room with Leah. Alright, so these guys don't move. Let's see, let's go into this forest maybe? Yeah. So I'm generally not a big fan of chapters like this, where it's a lot of enemy phasing. But I also understand from a story perspective why so far. Like, this seems to make a bit more sense. Let's see, I'm just going to go here and heal. It's really tough to be active on player phase with only one unit that has 18 HP that gets 2 hits, so it's more of the way that things are designed. So you can fight. I'll make sure this is your last. Espen gets a hit. Alright, so now I need to heal again. Oh, wait, I could probably... Oh, I can finish him off now. Because of that dope level up. So I looked at the growths. The growths in general are pretty high. So this hack doesn't have the skill system or the growth hack, so I can't see the growths in. But there is a growths page that was shared as part of the download for the current patch. And I just took a quick glance at it. Everything's in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s, so it's definitely higher growths than normal GBA. Not quite like Souls of the Forest high, but pretty close. Alright, that's a wrap. What? How? Alright. Cough, cough. How did you? The Celeste army is already here, young princess. You've nowhere to run. Dot, 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 dot. Cool. So that was pretty quick. That was a fine little intro. What do I have to say about it? So, I like the story opening. I like that it has relevance and that it's not just like, this is a legend of the land. Pay attention, young one, as we go through all the continents that you won't remember. It's more of the protagonist remembering a story that she used to be read as a child with the visuals from the storybook, and then tying it back to the present day where her father is at war and she's really choked up about it and she's in the place where she used to be read to. Like, I think it's really setting the mood and setting the scene. Definitely one of the more unique openings I've seen. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Olympian Nights does a similar type of storybook angle from the get-go. Dream of Five does as well, but they're coming at it from, let's tell you a story about an adventure, and then we're going into that adventure, and that's the game, versus the story is taking place in the context of the universe already. So it's not like me telling you a story and then playing the game. It's the character remembering a story that she was read as a child, and then it's her story. So it's a bit of a twist on that trope, which I like. The chapter itself, I mean, it's a prologue. I will say, and I've said this before, chapter 1 is probably one of the most important chapters to nail because it's something that people are going to be playing more than any other chapter. It's the first impression. It's short, which is good. And I can see that there's definitely more of an element of making it feel more like, I'm getting the sense, and I'll have to talk to Caladrius to confirm this, but it felt more like an interactive cutscene where she's sitting there and she's trying to remember this stuff, and then she gets assaulted and she's surprised. Because the chapter was really easy. I don't know if that's just me playing on normal. I think I might try hard off screen just to see if there's like anything egregious there before moving forward. But overall, it's fine. I mean, I like openings that have a bit more. I'm curious how like the number of units will ramp up and if we'll be kind of stuck with like 1 or 2 units for like 2 or 3 chapters, because that can kind of get tiring. But if there's short maps, then it's not too big of a deal. But I'm hoping that we get a few more units. I'm hoping that we have more incentive to go on the offensive and not just wait in forests. But I think the game does a nice job of kind of telling you, like, this is how you should play this chapter. So you also have to consider the audience that's intended. And sometimes I think it's easy for us to say, like, well, the romhack community is mostly people who have played Fire Emblem before, and so it should be a little bit more hard, and you shouldn't necessarily need to handhold as much. But you could also take it from the angle of, I don't know how skilled you are. Let me kind of guide you a little bit and ramp you in very slowly to that. So different approaches to difficulty. I'm getting the sense already that story is going to be a really big part of this hack, and it's going to be more of a story-driven game. We'll see if my prediction is correct. And that's not to say the gameplay will not be good, but I think we'll find that story is more of the emphasis. At least that's my gut. That's my gut so far, just from playing this first prologue. But it wasn't bad. Again, I would like something that's a little bit more player phase oriented, but it took less than like 3 turns to beat with like 1 round of combat in each. So it was very quick. It's a cutscene. It's a cutscene map, which is fine for a prologue. Depending again, what are you trying to establish? What this hack has done so far is it's established a mood and it's established a setting, and this sort of like sense of this like theme of like longing and loneliness, as the title would suggest. I feel like it's coming through with how things have been presented so far. So I give kudos to Caladrius for, I think, properly setting the mood for the hack. Let's see if the gameplay delivers. So my name is Pandan. This is Fire Emblem 8 ROM-Hack The Lonely Mirror by Caladrius. And that was Prologue, Remembrances. I will see you guys next time for Amatona Falls. All right, well, spoiler alert. I'll see you guys next time.